Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 1 p.m. Eastern. Houston Texans 1-10-1, 1-5 on the road. Dallas Cowboys 9-3, 6-1 at home. We're at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Again, we'll start with the line history in Texans Cowboys. Texans Cowboys. Let's pull this up here. We have the Texans opening up at plus 17.5. This got to 16 today at 1 p.m., but back to 17, juiced 17. The totals sitting at 44.5, was at 44. We already heard from Andy, who gave us the against the spread look, I guess. So a 24-1 straight up. The last 25 teams that have been 17 or higher favorites, and 10-5 against the spread over that time. Sky Dragon says Houston plus 17, and the under says 14 seems more reasonable. I agree. Let's see where the cash lies here. Again, it's very difficult to put your money on Houston because even Sports Insight's still giving Dallas line value here. 4,004 tickets in. Dallas getting about 40% line value. Sports Insights, 59% of the tickets, 67% of cash on Dallas, 56% of tickets on the under. Texans come in off their seventh straight loss, a disappointing 27-14 setback at home to the Browns. 1-6 against the spread in those 7 games. In the second game since replacing Davis Mills, Kyle Allen was atrocious. I don't understand it. We know what Kyle Allen's going to give you. You've invested all this time in Davis Mills, and we still don't. He has a higher upside, you have to admit, than Kyle Allen. We just know what Kyle Allen's going to give you. This move to Kyle Allen just makes no sense to me. He finished 20 of 39 for 201 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, lost a fumble. Texans finished with 283 yards, went 1 of 12 on third down. Brandon Cooks inactive due to a calf injury. Chris Moore, 3 catches for 46. Brevin Jordan, 4 for 46. Nico Collins, 3 for 35, and a meaningless late TD. Damian Pierce ran 18 times for 73 yards. The defense did their best to keep the Texans in it. They held the Browns to 14 first downs, 304 total yards, 1 sack, 4 quarterback hits. Jalen Petrie, big pick in the end zone, ran it out for 29 yards. So there are some good things about this football team, and that's the reason why until this week, which is we'll see if it changes, but the Sharps have been on them almost every week. Their 12th and third down defense, their 7th in red zone defense. And that's something, that's something. Rex Burkhead missed the game with a concussion, and their backup running back, Troy Hairston, injured his ribs in the second quarter. Cowboys coming off a dominant 54-19 victory over the Colts, outscored the Colts 33-0 in the fourth quarter. Third time in NFL history, a team has scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. 33 or more. Dak Prescott, 20 of 30 for 170 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches for 71, a touchdown. Tony Pollard just looks so good. 12 carries for 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, caught 2 for 15. Zeke had 17 carries for 77 yards, a touchdown, caught 3 for 15. Cowboys went 7 of 13 on third down, 4-4 in the red zone. Finished with their defense looked strong, 3 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. Deron Bland had 2 interceptions. Malik Hooker had 1. But Anthony Brown tore his Achilles, and he's done for the season. So we saw Anthony Brown leave in the Packers game with a concussion, and the Packers put up huge numbers once Anthony Brown went down. On the very first series without Anthony Brown, Calvin Joseph allowed a touchdown. Joseph, 2021 second-round pick, has not looked good. They're already missing Jordan Lewis, their nickel cornerback. He had the season-ending foot injury in week 9. There is Kendall Sheffield on the practice squad. Maybe it's just something we keep a notice of and pay attention to. Maybe it's something that whether it's Davis Mills or Kyle Allen, they won't be able to take advantage of it. Take it away for us here. Can you give us some clarity on this enormous favorite in the Dallas Cowboys?
And I did misspeak. I ran the query wrong. So I was looking at 17.5 or better. So I pushed it down to more than 16.5 and straight up 38-4. So there have been a few losses including the Rams losing to the Jets in 2020 as a 17-point favorite. If you remember, that one was a fun one. And then 18-23-1 going back to 92 as a 17.5-point favorite. The over-unders 20-21-1. So pretty even on the totals. I don't want to do anything with this game at all. This is Kyle Allen's really bad, and I'm not sure how motivated the Cowboys will be to put it on them in this game. They have more important games. Just feels like a lunch pail game where you just go in and get it done and hopefully play some backups in the second half. But the amount of turnovers that the Texans probably could incur, it feels bad. It's like, I say Dallas just wants to get in there, get out with a win and leave. But if they're just going to be given plus territory, it's going to just be a holdover of the fourth quarter of that Colts game. We're just like, all right, well, we got the ball again. Let's just run and move it. So the fact that they do tend to, cycle both running backs in, they'll have fresh legs going, both guys against a bad rush defense. Like I've railed against spreads being this big. I don't think anything should be this big, but at the same time, like it's a disastrous look for the Texans right now because Dallas can run, they can't stop the run. So they're not going to be able to get the ball back to even go into desperation mode and start hucking it. And I really think Allen is just a walking turnover too. So staying away from it. I want no part of this one.
Both Birdie and Skydragon are on the under. Would you agree with that look if you were given a free $500 bet on the total?
So I do agree with that. I think I was looking at Texans team total under because it doesn't even feel like they'll be able to do much against this defense in garbage time. It's really not looking good right now for the Houston Texans, which is good. You should tank. Go get a high pick. But if this over gets busted, I think it's due to, like I said, short fields for Dallas. I don't mind the first half under. That's maybe a look too. If you can get like a 20, 21 and a half, something along those lines, 22. Not sure what it is right now. So something to look for. I think it could just be like, 20-0 Dallas at half.
Birdie says the only motivation here is for Parsons to get sacks and cement Defensive Player of the Year. Game sets up for the home team to dominate. I think the award is important to him. He says, I like the Texans team total under 9.5 at plus 260. Plus 260 going for a big score there. Yeah, I don't think I could ever end up wanting to put money on the Texans, but
it's so many points. It's very tempting because, we've said this over and over. A team isn't incentivized to win by 18. They don't care. Just want to get their win. They want to keep up with the Eagles. They want to get in the playoffs.
Want to be healthy. Yeah, and you break one play, and then we know that the one thing about the Lovie Smith Texans is that they keep fighting. They keep playing hard late in the game for the backdoor cover. This is ugly. Very ugly. I don't want the Cowboys at this price, but do I want to sit there praying for backdoor cover in the fourth quarter? It doesn't seem like a profitable situation, but I do have a tiny bit of interest in the Texans at this point. Let's keep rolling.